Welcome, I'm Mrs. Merritt, principal of W200
Hi, nice
High
to meet you.
School.
I'm Evan Perez.
Nice to meet you. Please sit down. So, Mr. Fast, what makes you want to be a history teacher, and why is history so important to you?
I want to be a social studies teacher because I want to be the person that provides young minds with the knowledge of our world's history, our country's history. Because history is important to me because it helps us understand where we come from. Also, understanding the past is key to understanding the present because if we understand our own mistakes or successes, it can help us solve problems in the future, whether it is personal or global. Also, history keeps people informed as current events unfold, from the invention of the light bulb to our nation landing on the moon, or to becoming such a technological world that I'm able to make this video. Becoming a history teacher gives me the opportunity to develop basic skills such as reading, writing, and analytical thinking. In the real world, students may never need to know the details of how George Washington persuaded the Senate to ratify Jay's Treaty, or how Andrew Jackson destroyed the Bank of the United States. However, students will always need to know how to read, write, and think, and that's how I can come in as a teacher. History is important because it helps students better understand the society in which they live in. Americans live in a diverse and complex society, and all of us need to understand the society in which we live in. One of the best ways to understand society is to understand its history, and understanding that is vital not only to our personal happiness, but also to our health of our society. History allows students to gain perspective and learn to see a bigger picture. History allows students to leave the confines of their own environment and see themselves as a product of 1,000 years of history, not just as our own U.S. history, but as the world's history, looking at it from a very larger perspective and seeing all the different cultures that we live in today. I want to be a social studies teacher so I can inspire my students. Most people at one time or another need a little inspiration, and what better place to look for inspiration than to dig into the past? History is full of heroic individuals who found something within themselves that allowed them to overcome tremendous obstacles. I want to be that teacher that helps my students learn about these people and their triumphs, using history to inspire my students and help them learn to find themselves within. History can provide students with a sense of why we are all here. All of us need a reason for living, a higher purpose to our lives. Are we here to help others explore new frontiers? Are we here to create and bring beauty into the world? To what extent should we define our lives by our emotional and spiritual development? All these questions have been dealt with by people who have come before us and will help us in modern times to find our own answers to why we are all here. History can help students feel a sense of connection, and that's exactly what I want to do as a teacher. I want to be able to help my students connect with the past when it was 1782 and George Washington had not yet been elected president, or 1857 and Abraham Lincoln had not yet been elected president, or to figure out if any of my students' families survived the Great Depression or World War II. And as a teacher, I want them to help connect with that past and bring them back to a time where they do not know of. As a teacher, I want my students to be able to dream and wonder, and that's exactly what history can do. It gives them the opportunity to imagine a better future. History leads us to a place where we better understand each other and the world we live in. This understanding can help us then imagine a better way to live and give us the ability to pursue our dreams while grounded in reality. And the last reason why I want to teach history is because history is fun. A class that turns history into a dry reenactment of facts will not engage students, and there is no reason a teacher should not make a history class an enjoyable place for students to spend time. History is full of drama, suspense, romance, tragedy, and comedy. Let the facts speak for themselves, and students cannot help but find entertainment in stories from the past. As a teacher in my future classroom, I want to be able to develop students and myself with an open mind attitude. I want to be able to let students embrace their own opinions in my classroom about topics we discuss, to also being open-minded about controversial issues that may be discussed in class as well. Also, I want to be able to develop creativity in my classroom, whether it be through group work, projects, papers, or tests, and being able to let students bring their own feelings about history through their work. And last, I want to be able to develop confidence in my students by letting them embrace the beauty of our world's history through their schoolwork and being confident in their abilities to exceed, and by the end, having the same love for history as I do.